That snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one
can't, we
quick
can't, we
question?
can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, holiday hoops. Some notes from that as you see in the title. LSU, man, LSU, they got it done in Bahamas. A very strong showing there. One of the games they were down by like double digits, I believe. It was to like Washington. It was to Washington, I want to say. And they came all the way back. They win it last second from KG. Caitlin Gilbert hit a nice, crazy, like up and under, tough lay, finger roll, and stuff like that to keep LSU's undefeated record and things going. And then people are like, oh, I don't know. They got NC State. That's a ranked opponent. They barely just beat Washington. And before then, they just were playing Southwest Baptist Mississippi Community College. So LSU comes in the next game. They hear all the chatter, and they make no doubt about it. They are LSU still, and they ran the brakes off of NC State that next game. Flau'jae looks amazing this season. She's locked in. Anissa Murrow is really, really, really. Anissa Murrow is having a great season as well this season, this year, and she's trying to solidify her spot in the top 5 of this year's WNBA draft in 2025 to go to Golden State or whoever else is in the top 5. Who else looks really good at LSU? Gilbert, of course, Michaela Williams. That was another one. I think it was the Washington game, the game where they were struggling and everything like that, and they had to come back from 14, and Flau'jae had to save the ball, and Caitlin Gilbert had to grab it and go up and under finger roll off the glass. That game, Michaela Williams was non-existent. Whereas Michaela Williams, APD out on Michaela Williams. She was supposed to be that one, right? She was the number 1, number 2 prospect coming out of high school. She comes in last season. She's one of the best freshmen in the country. Her and Malaysia Fulwiley were 1 and 2 when it comes to SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Where's Michaela Williams? Next game, Michaela Williams steps up. Here I am. Oh my goodness. Michaela Williams is a bucket, bro. She reminds me kind of like Klay Thompson. Like it's like, sometimes they go away and you're like, where are they? And other times when they heat up, their heat checks are different. It's like their heat checks are better than 90% of the countries. So Michaela Williams shows up the next game. They blow NC State out the water, and they come back home with some hardware. So that's LSU. And today, Kim Mulkey made some history at the time I'm recording this December 1st. Congratulations to Kim Mulkey on what you've accomplished as well in your career. Sensational career. Speaking of sensational accomplishments and everything like that, South Carolina. So we talked about South Carolina after the loss to UCLA. And so we talked about that and things of that sort. But the next game, South Carolina said, make no doubt about it, we're South Carolina. And between the game, there was a lot of drama on social media. I didn't get to address this or anything like that, but this one South Carolina fan said that they talked to somebody and they said the reason why Malaysia Fulwiley wasn't playing in that UCLA game was because like coach like yelled at her to come in the game and she just ignored her or didn't hear her and sat on the bench. So coach called somebody else to come off the bench instead of Fulwiley, and that's what happened. And she didn't play for the rest of the game. And then Raven Johnson's mom quote tweeted that and was like, why would you even say this? Like, why would you make this public? Even if this is the truth, like, why would you tweet it out? So that was that. While I'm on the same subject, Flau'jae's mom, in the video that I uploaded about the Flau'jae kind of injury scene, what they got Flau'jae tweeting about who Flau'jae was and stuff like that. A lot of people in the comments were talking about Miss Kia Brooks, the momager, super momager. They were talking about her about like, this is her fault. She's stirring this up. She put out a statement like the next day that's like, yo, I'm trying to get the money up for everybody. And I know what makes good TV and what makes good TV and what brings in engagement. And a lot of that stuff is rage bait. And a lot of that stuff is working. It's working because it's got people talking and the numbers and engagement are up. You take that stuff to business contracts and negotiations, the numbers go up, prices go up. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way that life works. I put up a video. You look on my channel. Matter of fact, let's do this. We're gonna share the screen right here, and I'm gonna show y'all what it is, man. Because a lot of people will complain, right, about how things going, but it's almost like they don't want to just acknowledge the reality of the situation. I'm gonna go on my channel here. By the way, if you're new to the channel, this is a road to 5K subs. Ooh wee. Anyways, here's a video I did. Some of my early favorite stories and players of the women's college basketball 2024-2005 season. Crystal Henderson and Harmony Turner. Two of my favorite players and two of my favorite stories, Georgia State / Crystal Henderson over at Georgia State. Crystal Henderson, of course, turned down an offer from South Carolina coming out of high school. She is the younger sister of Scoot Henderson of the Portland Trailblazers. Great college, great high school career, retired her jersey on the spot before she walked the graduation stage. Georgia State, at Georgia State, they beaten Clemson last season. They beaten UGA this season. They face Alabama tomorrow at the time I'm recording this. We'll see what happens on the road at Alabama. Harmony Turner is Rock T from Ricky Smiley Morning Show. That's his daughter. She's at Harvard. But the Joker just had like 41 points a couple weeks ago. That's the game that really put her on the map nationally and stuff like that. Of course, you know, she did the preseason podcast with Howie Magdal and everything like that. Salute to Howie and stuff like that. I was just watching that interview the other day. But she had 27 over Thanksgiving in one of the games. And in that game that she had 27, she hit the game winner. So that was that, right? This junk has 5 views, and it probably has a couple more views because the views that you see here aren't like the actual views. I don't know if you guys know that. That's just a little game. A video about Angel Reese and the life and internet's most important lesson picture without Angel Reese playing basketball or her in the basketball jersey, just looking at her cell phone, has a couple hundred views. It says 181, but it's probably about 200. This video right here, Angel Reese versus Flage, has 1,500 views. So it's like people can say what they want about drama, and like we don't need drama and we don't need that for the attention. We just like the hoops. We want quality hoops. At the end of the day, the numbers speak for himself, bro. I'm speaking about players and trying and highlighting players that aren't the most talked about. You know, they're not the stars. I'm not doing, you know, Skylar Diggins Smith and Angel Reese in a bikini. You know what I'm saying? In every thumbnail and every video. And I said those two players in particular because as I'm looking on my channel, those are just two names that stand out. But yeah, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Every single video. I'm not doing every single video on my channel about Caitlin Clark and throwing Caitlin Clark's name in every title of every video. You know, there's a lot of times, a lot of videos that I've been doing on Angel Reese lately. That's just because Angel Reese has been going viral a lot, and she knows how to go viral. She knows how to play with the internet. She's like Lil Nas X when it comes to this basketball stuff. But I say all of this. I say all of this to say, I highlight non kind of mainstream players, but players who still have motion and still have unique stories and stuff like that, only a couple views. I'll talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the game for real, just like the narratives and the drama outside of the game, thousands of views. And this is why people say drama and narratives grow the game. You look at the NBA, you can literally follow the NBA without watching the NBA these days. It's like SGA dresses nicely. Ben Simmons doesn't play. He doesn't play well. Joel Embiid barely plays. He's always hurt. Paul George barely plays. He's always hurt. Anthony Davis had the nickname Street Clothes, even though he's played most of the games in the past 2 seasons. Zion Williamson, you can make the jokes about his weight and the fact that he's in New Orleans with Gumbo, and he doesn't play that much because of his weight and his conditioning. Um, these are all things. Trey Young, you know, the lollipop with the hair thing meme. You can make all of these jokes just by following NBA Twitter. Scotty Barnes being kind of like a silly kind of goofy big kid who just happens to be an NBA All-Star. These are all things that you can follow on NBA Twitter without watching actual basketball or the NBA. And that's what made the NBA that much popular and stuff like that. Are the outside narratives. Larry Magic and Bird, then go into Jordan, then go into the game that we see today. Kobe's, Shaq's, the 2000s era with Jason Kidd. I already said Shaq, Jason Kidd's, Vince Carter's, Tracy McGrady's, Yao Ming, Steve Francis, uh, all of those guys, Dirk Nowitzki's, Jason Terry, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Quentin Richardson, Joe Johnson, all of those guys, Chris Paul. I can go down the list. Darren Williams, Marvin Williams, Andrew Bogut, Dwight Howard. You can go down the list of all these guys. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. But like that's just what it is. Things are ran by stars, narrative driven, and drama is always good TV. It gets the ratings up. That's just the sad reality of it. So yeah. So that's what Fly J's mom is doing. I went on a whole nother rant. I didn't know I would go on there, but it is what it is. Back to holiday hoops. TCU and Notre Dame. So man, first of all, oh yeah. I watched UConn for the first time this season. I didn't watch the first couple games because AZ was out, and I kind of wanted to see the full group. And I seen so AZ's second game was against Ole Miss. Yeah, it was Ole Miss. Ole Miss over there at that tournament. And boy, I tell you, Paige and AZ, bro. Like I said, number one backcourt in the country. And Notre Dame, them jokers ain't too far behind. Olivia Miles and Hidalgo, them jokers ain't too far behind. I tell you, boy. But yeah, man. So I'm watching them. AZ got that strap on her, bro. Flat footed jumper be going in. Paige going crazy, especially with off ball movement. She's just an energizer bunny. You can tell that she was really working out and working on her conditioning this season. Off ball movement and passing has always been strong suits of Paige's game, but I don't know. It just kind of stands out and pops a little more this season so far. And her shooting's always been there. Just kind of overall good player. Always been a solid defender. There's a reason why she is the consensus number one pick of the 2025 WNBA draft. AZ, like I said, good stuff. Ice Brady is making herself to be a solid rotational player for UConn. Chin, a good player as well. The Caitlin, the with the Ivy League transfer, the transfer from Princeton, she's also pretty good. The big there and stuff like that. And they've always had decent 3-point shooting at UConn for the past couple seasons. And Joel always points out to me, I got you. I got you, Arnold. I'm about to bring that up. And what's up, Arnold? Welcome in. It's like 12:44 while I'm recording and stuff like that. So for you to be in here, what's up? Um, yes, they have a decent team, everything like that. Oh, Joel said 3-point shooting. Joel always says with UConn, the key with them is 3-point shooting. If the 3-point shooting can be consistent and above average in the country, they're gonna end up in the final four. And right now, I think when I look at their 3-point shooting, because I don't even know if Caroline Ducharme's back. If Caroline Ducharme gets back in that lineup, the 3-point shooting is going to be a problem for UConn, bro. They're going to be decent. They're going to be really, really good. So I'm looking at that. Uh, and just a lot of nice moves. A lot of nice moves. I took some highlights of it and stuff like that on my phone. But my phone stopped working last night. So technical difficulties on technical difficulties. What can you do? Here we go. Notre Dame from Arnold. Notre Dame just dropped 2 in a row. They can hoop, but they're not that efficient. So yeah, like I said, Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo definitely not that far behind AZ and Paige for the number one backcourt in the nation. They're currently number 2. And man, them jokers is cold. So I just watched the TCU game. And like the first half, oh my goodness, they no. This was the second half, but the point still stands. Of who is it? Who is it? Hidalgo. Hidalgo throw the ball. Look, this look crazy. I was looking at this. I'm like, bro, look, man. All right. Anyways, but Hidalgo on a fast break throw the ball behind her head, boy. She not even looking to Olivia Miles on the basket. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the Globetrotters. They was going crazy, bro. And then the next play, a couple possessions later, Hidalgo get a steal. She throw the lead pass over to Sonia Creton. Creton hit man. Come on, man. Them jokers was going in. I ain't gonna lie to you. They was going in. She hit the three. She get up to 10 points. All three of them jokers in double figure scoring, bro. Man, they a problem, bro. They can move. And when it's all clicking, it's clicking. And then it's like Haley Van Lith, though, when it was clicking, Haley Van Lith was in foul trouble. Because I was looking at the game. I'm like, how did TCU even win this game? Like, because, like, Notre Dame had it on lock. Haley Van Lith was out. She had foul trouble in the first half. She gets in the second half. She gets a little and one, but she started making that figure. She started making that. Can I bet that down? She started making that face and whatnot, right? So there's that. She starts getting them going emotionally. She gets the team fired up. So Donna Prince really kept them in it in the first half, just kept it within 10 points, around 10 points. Never got too far, never got to 15, 20. You know, it was once a 14-point game, but that's as big as it got. That's as wide as it's a margin gap. So Haley Van Lith gets them started emotionally. Then, hold on, I'm gonna pull up let me pull up the box score. Then who I believe her like Maddie Connor is her name. Yeah, Maddie Connor, bro. Then she get it going with a couple big threes. Taylor Bigby, she's a college vet, you know what I'm saying, things like that. She did, you know, kind of solid work and stuff like that. 9-4 as you see here. But Maddie Connor got it really going with a couple of them threes. And this joker right here, and Bapu or Nadapu, hey, that joker right there, she was holding it down, bro. On the paper, she only got 8 points, 2 rebounds, but she made a huge difference on the glass and just energy overall in that game, hustle points in that game to really get them going. As you see, Hidalgo, Miles, Chris Hahn, the big three did what they had to do. But watching that game, it really looked like they had a big three, and that's it. You know, I know they're dealing with some injuries and stuff like that now. So maybe the injuries, but you know, I think for Notre Dame, really, they're probably going to have to figure it out outside of the big three at some point. But in college, you can kind of get away with being like top heavy in college. You know what I'm saying? Like they're probably going to have to work on that lack of depth going into conference play into the postseason. So, but that's what I see with them. And those were just some of the salute to Arnold once again, man. Those were just some of the things that I saw this holiday break with hoops and things of that sort. Georgia State did pretty well. They only dropped one game in the break. They had like kind of 3-4 games back to back at their home arena. Leading up to Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving Day they played as well, and they won all but one of those games. So the Georgia State as well. And that's it. Those are all my Thanksgiving break notes. Salute. Speaking of saluting,
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.